She laughed at him. Now this man's revenge will shock the entire party. Ethan, a young man brimming with the idealism and passion of youth, had always been captivated by Isabella, the girl who seemed to possess an otherworldly aura, a radiant beauty that illuminated the hallways of their high school and set his heart aflutter. Her laughter, a melodious symphony that echoed through the corridors, her eyes, sparkling with a mischievous intelligence, and her smile, a captivating curve that lit up her face and sent shivers down his spine, had stolen his heart from the moment they first met. He was drawn to her like a moth to a flame, his every thought consumed by her presence, his every dream filled with her image. He would spend hours crafting poems and love letters, pouring his heart out onto the page, his words a testament to his unwavering love and devotion. He would rehearse his confessions of love, his voice trembling with a mixture of excitement and apprehension, his heart pounding with the hope that she would reciprocate his feelings. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. When he finally summoned the courage to confess his love, to bare his soul to the girl who had captured his heart, he was met with a cruel rejection, a dismissive laugh, and words that pierced his soul like daggers. Isabella, the object of his affections, the girl he had placed on a pedestal, had shattered his dreams, trampled on his heart, and left him feeling humiliated and worthless. Isabella, the queen bee of their high school, was a woman of unparalleled beauty and charm. Her captivating personality and magnetic presence drew admirers from all walks of life, her popularity a testament to her social prowess and her ability to command attention. She was the envy of her peers, the object of countless crushes, her beauty a weapon that she wielded with a mixture of confidence and cruelty. However, beneath her dazzling exterior, beneath the perfectly styled hair and the designer clothes, lay a heart filled with arrogance and a thirst for power. She reveled in the admiration she received, her ego inflating with each passing day, her sense of entitlement growing with every conquest. She saw others as pawns in her game of social domination, their affections a source of amusement, their vulnerabilities a weakness to be exploited. The rejection left Ethan devastated, his once vibrant spirit shrouded in a veil of sadness and despair. His heart, once filled with hope and love, now ached with a dull ache, a constant reminder of the humiliation he had endured. He withdrew from his friends and family, seeking solace in the solitude of his own thoughts, his once outgoing personality replaced by a brooding silence. The pain of rejection gnawed at him, leaving him feeling worthless and insignificant. He questioned his own worth, his own attractiveness, his own ability to connect with others. He felt like a failure, a reject, an outcast in the very social circles he had once navigated with ease. He lost interest in his studies, his grades plummeting, his teachers expressing concern for his well-being. He abandoned his hobbies, his guitar gathering dust in the corner of his room, his once vibrant paintings replaced by dark and brooding sketches that reflected the turmoil within him. He lost touch with his friends, their attempts to reach out met with silence and withdrawal. He avoided family gatherings, his once cheerful presence replaced by a somber shadow that cast a pall over the festive atmosphere. He sought refuge in the solitude of his room, his mind replaying the scene of his rejection, Isabella's cruel words echoing in his ears, her laughter a haunting reminder of his humiliation. He felt trapped in a cycle of despair, his thoughts consumed by bitterness and resentment, his heart yearning for revenge. 2 years had passed since the humiliating rejection, 2 years that had transformed Ethan from a carefree and optimistic young man into a brooding figure, his eyes filled with a steely resolve and a hint of vengeance. The pain of rejection had not faded. It had festered, morphing into a burning desire for retribution, a need to reclaim his dignity and expose Isabella's true nature to the world. He had channeled his pain into ambition, his desire for revenge fueling his drive to succeed. He had immersed himself in his studies, his academic performance skyrocketing, his teachers marveling at his newfound focus and determination. He had graduated from high school with honors, securing a scholarship to a prestigious university, where he pursued a degree in business, his mind now focused on the acquisition of wealth and power, the tools he believed he needed to exact his revenge. He had also transformed his physical appearance. His once lanky frame now sculpted by hours spent in the gym, his muscles rippling beneath his tailored suits, his physique a symbol of his newfound strength and determination. He had cultivated an air of confidence and authority, his voice now commanding attention, his presence radiating an aura of power and control. His opportunity for revenge arrived in the form of a gilded invitation, a summons to a grand gala hosted by Isabella's father, a renowned businessman whose name was synonymous with wealth and influence. Ethan, now a successful entrepreneur, the founder of a rising tech startup, had gained entry into the exclusive event, his invitation a testament to his newfound wealth and influence, a symbol of his rise from the ashes of rejection. He entered the grand ballroom, its opulent decor a testament to the host's wealth and extravagance, its chandeliers casting a glittering glow on the elegantly dressed guests, their conversations a symphony of polite laughter and calculated networking. His eyes scanned the crowd, his gaze searching for the one person who had haunted his thoughts and fueled his ambition for the past 2 years. And then he saw her, Isabella, resplendent in a stunning crimson gown, its flowing fabric accentuating her curves, its jeweled embellishments sparkling under the chandelier's light. She was surrounded by admirers, their laughter echoing around her, their eyes fixed on her every move, their attention a testament to her enduring power and popularity. Ethan, his heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation, his carefully constructed composure barely concealing the storm of emotions raging within him, approached her, his footsteps measured and deliberate, his gaze unwavering. He stopped in front of her, his eyes locking onto hers, a chilling glint reflecting in their depths, a hint of the vengeance that had simmered within him for so long. Isabella, initially surprised by Ethan's presence, her carefully cultivated composure momentarily faltering, quickly regained her composure, her facade of arrogance masking any underlying apprehension. She had not seen Ethan since that fateful day 2 years ago, the day she had so carelessly dismissed his affections, her cruelty fueled by her own insecurities and her insatiable thirst for admiration. She greeted him with a polite smile, her voice dripping with condescension, her words laced with a subtle mockery that only he could decipher. "Ethan," she said, her voice a practiced melody of social grace. "What a surprise to see you here. I hardly recognized you." Ethan, however, was unfazed by her facade, his years of planning and preparation steeling him against her attempts to belittle him. He had anticipated her reaction, her feigned ignorance, her condescending tone. He had come prepared, his mind a steel trap, his emotions carefully controlled, his every word and action calculated to achieve his long-awaited revenge. He leaned in close, his voice a low murmur, his words cutting through the polite chatter that surrounded them, his gaze piercing through her carefully constructed mask of indifference. "Remember me, Isabella?" he asked, his voice laced with a sardonic amusement that sent shivers down her spine. Isabella's smile faltered for a brief moment, a flicker of recognition crossing her eyes, a fleeting glimpse of the vulnerability she had so carefully concealed. She quickly recovered, feigning ignorance, her voice regaining its practiced composure. "I'm afraid I don't recall, sir," she replied, her words a dismissal, her tone a subtle insult. Ethan chuckled, a cold, mirthless sound that echoed through the opulent ballroom, silencing the nearby conversations and drawing curious glances from the surrounding guests. It was a sound that betrayed the years of suppressed anger and resentment, the culmination of his carefully orchestrated plan for revenge. "I wouldn't expect you to," he said, his voice laced with sarcasm, his words dripping with a venomous satisfaction that sent a chill through Isabella's carefully constructed facade. "After all, you discarded me like yesterday's trash, a worthless admirer unworthy of your attention." Isabella's eyes widened in realization, a wave of panic washing over her, her carefully cultivated composure crumbling under the weight of his accusations. She attempted to dismiss his words, to brush them aside with a practiced laugh and a dismissive gesture, but Ethan cut her off, his voice rising in intensity, his words carrying the weight of his long-suppressed emotions. "You humiliated me, Isabella," he declared, his voice echoing through the grand ballroom, silencing the music and the chatter, drawing the attention of the guests, their curious gazes fixed on the unfolding drama. You shattered my heart and trampled on my dignity. You treated me like a worthless nobody, a pathetic admirer unworthy of your attention. And now it's my turn. Ethan, fueled by a potent cocktail of righteous anger and carefully nurtured resentment, decided to expose Isabella's true nature to the world, to strip away the mask of perfection she had so carefully crafted and reveal the ugliness that lurked beneath. He would not resort to physical violence or petty revenge. His weapon would be the truth, the weapon he knew would wound her most deeply, the weapon that would shatter her carefully constructed image and expose her for the manipulative and deceitful person she truly was. He spoke with a clarity and conviction that silenced the whispers and drew the attention of the entire ballroom. He recounted the story of their encounter 2 years ago, the day he had confessed his love, his heart filled with hope and vulnerability, only to be met with her cruel laughter and dismissive words. He described the humiliation he had felt, the pain that had consumed him, the years he had spent rebuilding his life, his every action fueled by a desire for revenge. He then proceeded to expose Isabella's true nature, revealing her manipulative tactics and her deceitful ways. He spoke of her lies, the carefully constructed narratives she spun to maintain her image, the way she twisted the truth to suit her own purposes. He spoke of her betrayal of friends and family, the way she used people to advance her own social standing, discarding them once they had served their purpose. He spoke of her ruthless pursuit of power and social status, her insatiable hunger for admiration and validation, her willingness to step on anyone who stood in her way. He painted a picture of a woman consumed by vanity and ambition, her exterior beauty a stark contrast to the ugliness within her heart, her charming facade a mask for her manipulative and self-serving nature. Isabella's carefully constructed world crumbled around her, her facade of perfection shattered into 1,000 pieces. Her friends and admirers, their faces etched with shock and disbelief, gasped in horror as they realized the truth behind her charm and charisma. They had been blinded by her beauty, seduced by her charm, manipulated by her lies. Now, the scales fell from their eyes, and they saw her for who she truly was. A manipulative and deceitful woman, her heart as cold as the diamonds that adorned her neck. Her father, a man of wealth and influence, his reputation built on integrity and business acumen, watched in silent shame, his paternal pride replaced by a deep sense of disappointment and betrayal. He had always seen his daughter as a reflection of himself, a shining example of success and social grace. Now he saw the darkness that lurked beneath her surface, the ugliness that had been hidden from him for so long. Isabella, her reputation in tatters, her social standing decimated, her carefully constructed world collapsing around her, felt a wave of panic wash over her. She had underestimated Ethan, his quiet determination, his carefully nurtured resentment, his ability to expose her true nature to the world. She fled the venue, her tears of humiliation a bitter taste of defeat, her carefully crafted image shattered, her social standing irrevocably damaged. She had played a dangerous game and she had lost. Ethan, his revenge complete, his anger and resentment finally finding release, watched her retreat, a sense of satisfaction mixed with a lingering emptiness filling his heart. He had achieved what he had set out to do. He had exposed Isabella's true nature. He had brought her down from her pedestal. But the victory felt hollow, the satisfaction fleeting. The consequences of his actions were far-reaching, extending beyond the confines of the grand ballroom and the shattered remnants of Isabella's reputation. Ethan's reputation as a ruthless and unforgiving man spread through the community, his actions at the gala painting him in a new light, a light that cast shadows on his own character. He had achieved his revenge, but at what cost? He had lost the respect of his peers, his actions tarnishing his own image, his reputation now associated with bitterness and vengeance. He had become the very thing he had despised in Isabella, a person consumed by negativity and a desire for retribution. He found himself isolated, his friends and colleagues distancing themselves from him, their admiration replaced by a cautious apprehension. He had become an outsider, his actions a reminder of the darkness that lurked within the human heart, the destructive power of unchecked emotions. While Ethan was grappling with the consequences of his actions, his reputation tarnished, his social circle shrinking, another story was unfolding, a story that would challenge his perspective, offer him a path towards redemption, and ultimately transform his life. One of Isabella's former friends, Sarah, a woman of integrity and compassion, had witnessed Ethan's actions at the gala. She had seen the anger and resentment in his eyes, the calculated cruelty in his words, the satisfaction he had taken in Isabella's humiliation. She was appalled by his behavior, his thirst for vengeance a stark contrast to the kind and compassionate young man she had once known. Sarah, who had always admired Ethan's kindness and integrity, his willingness to help others, his genuine concern for the well-being of those around him, was dismayed by his transformation. She saw in him a reflection of the pain he had endured, the scars left by Isabella's rejection, the bitterness that had consumed him. She decided to confront him, not to judge or condemn him, but to appeal to his better nature, to help him find a path towards redemption. She believed that the Ethan she had known, the kind and compassionate young man, was still there, buried beneath the layers of anger and resentment. She sought out Ethan, her words a gentle reminder of his past virtues, his compassion, and his empathy. She spoke of the destructive nature of revenge, its ability to consume and corrupt the soul, to turn the victim into the perpetrator. She spoke of the importance of forgiveness, its power to heal wounds, to liberate the heart, and to restore faith in humanity. Ethan, initially defensive, his heart hardened by the pain of rejection and the satisfaction of revenge, his mind resistant to any challenge to his carefully constructed justifications, gradually began to listen to Sarah's words. He saw in her a reflection of the values he had lost, the values he had once cherished, the values that had defined his character before the darkness of revenge had consumed him. He saw in her eyes a genuine concern for his well-being, a belief in his capacity for redemption, a hope that he could find his way back to the light. He listened to her words, her voice a gentle balm to his wounded soul, her empathy a soothing touch that melted the ice around his heart. He began to question his actions, his motives, the path he had chosen. He realized that his revenge, while momentarily satisfying, had not brought him the peace and closure he had craved. It had only deepened his isolation, tarnished his reputation, and left him feeling emptier than before. He saw in Sarah a path towards redemption, a chance to reclaim his lost values, to heal his wounds, and to rediscover the person he had once been. He saw in her a beacon of hope, a guiding light in the darkness that had enveloped him. Sarah's presence in Ethan's life became a beacon of hope, a guiding light in the darkness that had enveloped him, a lifeline that pulled him back from the brink of despair. He found himself drawn to her kindness, her compassion, her unwavering belief in his capacity for redemption, her ability to see the good in him even when he had lost sight of it himself. He found solace in her company, her presence a calming influence on his troubled soul. He cherished their conversations, their laughter, their shared moments of vulnerability and connection. He found himself opening up to Sarah, confessing his vulnerabilities and his fears, his pain and his longing for forgiveness. He spoke of the humiliation he had endured, the anger and resentment that had consumed him, the destructive path he had chosen in his pursuit of revenge. He spoke of the emptiness he felt, the isolation that had become his constant companion, the regret that gnawed at his conscience. Sarah listened without judgment, her empathy a balm to his wounded soul. She understood the pain he had endured, the betrayal he had felt, the darkness that had clouded his judgment. She saw in him not a monster but a wounded soul, a man who had lost his way but who was still capable of redemption. She encouraged him to confront his demons, to face the pain he had been suppressing, to acknowledge the harm he had caused, both to himself and to others. She encouraged him to forgive himself and Isabella, to release the anger and resentment that had been poisoning his heart, to find a path towards healing and peace. She spoke of the transformative power of forgiveness, its ability to liberate the heart and restore faith in humanity. She spoke of the importance of empathy and compassion, the ability to see beyond the surface and understand the human struggles behind every action. She spoke of the interconnectedness of human lives, the way our actions can ripple through the lives of others, creating either pain or healing. She encouraged him to use his experiences to help others, to guide those who had been hurt and betrayed, to be a beacon of hope and healing in a world that often seemed dark and unforgiving. Their bond deepened, their connection transcending the boundaries of friendship and blossoming into a love that was both tender and transformative. Ethan found in Sarah the acceptance and understanding he had craved, a love that healed his wounds and restored his faith in humanity. He found in her a partner, a confidant, a soulmate who saw the best in him and encouraged him to become the man he was meant to be. He found joy in their shared moments, their laughter echoing through the once silent rooms of his apartment, their conversations weaving a tapestry of shared dreams and aspirations. He found comfort in her presence, her warmth melting the ice around his heart, her love a beacon of light guiding him out of the darkness. He learned to trust again, to open his heart, to express his emotions without fear of judgment or rejection. He learned to love, not with the possessive and conditional love he had once felt for Isabella, but with a love that was selfless, compassionate, and unconditional. Sarah, in turn, found in Ethan a kindred spirit, a man who understood the depths of her own heart, who shared her values and her passion for making a difference in the world. She admired his intelligence, his resilience, his determination to overcome his past and create a better future for himself. She cherished their connection, their shared laughter, their deep conversations that explored the mysteries of the universe and the complexities of the human heart. She found comfort in his strength, his unwavering support, his ability to make her feel safe and loved. She encouraged him to embrace his vulnerability, to express his emotions, to forgive himself and others, to find peace and healing in the power of human connection. She helped him to see the world through a different lens, to appreciate the beauty and complexity of life, to find joy in the simple things, and to discover meaning and purpose beyond the pursuit of revenge. Their relationship blossomed, nurtured by their shared values, their mutual respect, and their growing love for one another. They found in each other a safe haven, a place where they could be themselves, where they could heal from the wounds of the past and embrace the possibilities of the future. They supported each other's dreams, encouraged each other's growth, and celebrated each other's successes. They found in each other a love that was genuine, unconditional, and transformative, a love that healed their wounds and empowered them to face the challenges of life with courage and resilience. The annual charity gala, a prestigious event that brought together the city's elite, was approaching, its invitation a symbol of social status and philanthropic commitment. Ethan and Sarah, their relationship blossoming, their love a beacon of hope in their lives, decided to attend the gala together, a symbol of their newfound love and Ethan's reintegration into society, his emergence from the shadows of revenge and his embrace of a more compassionate and fulfilling path. Ethan, his heart filled with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation, his past still casting a shadow over his present, prepared for the gala with a newfound sense of purpose. He had spent the past months rebuilding his life, his reputation slowly healing, his social circle expanding to include those who valued his transformation and his commitment to personal growth. He had also been working with Sarah on a project close to their hearts, a foundation dedicated to supporting victims of bullying and promoting kindness and compassion in schools and communities. The gala, with its gathering of influential figures, presented an opportunity to launch their foundation, to share their vision, and to enlist the support of those who could help them make a difference in the lives of others. At the gala, the grand ballroom shimmering with chandeliers, the air filled with the murmur of conversations and the clinking of champagne glasses, Ethan encountered Isabella, her reputation tarnished, her social standing diminished, her once radiant aura now dimmed by the shadow of her past actions. She approached him, her eyes filled with a mixture of regret and resentment, her carefully constructed facade of confidence now cracked, revealing the vulnerability and insecurity that had fueled her past behavior. She had lost many of her friends, her social circle shrinking, her influence waning, her once bright star now fading in the constellation of the city's elite. She had also experienced a personal awakening, a realization of the harm she had caused, the pain she had inflicted on others, the emptiness of her pursuit of power and social status. She had sought therapy, confronted her own insecurities, and embarked on a journey of self-reflection and growth, her desire for redemption a flickering flame in the darkness of her past mistakes. She spoke to Ethan, her voice trembling with a mixture of emotions, her words carrying the weight of her regret and her longing for forgiveness. She apologized for her past actions, her voice laced with sincerity and remorse. She acknowledged the pain she had caused, the humiliation she had inflicted, and the damage she had done to Ethan's life. She spoke of the emptiness she had felt, the loneliness that had consumed her, the realization that her pursuit of power and social status had led her down a path of destruction and isolation. She spoke of her desire to change, to make amends, to become a better person. Ethan, his heart softened by love and forgiveness, the bitterness and resentment that had once consumed him now replaced by a newfound compassion and understanding, listened to Isabella's words, his own pain and anger finally subsiding. He realized that revenge had not brought him the satisfaction he had craved, that true healing lay in forgiveness and reconciliation. He accepted her apology, his voice gentle and forgiving, his words offering her a chance at redemption, a chance to rebuild her life and her reputation. He saw in her eyes a genuine remorse, a desire for change, a flicker of the kindness and compassion that had once been buried beneath her arrogance and insecurity. He offered her his forgiveness, not as a way to condone her past actions, but as a way to release her from the burden of guilt and shame, to empower her to move forward on a path of healing and growth. He offered her his friendship, his guidance, and his unwavering support, his heart filled with a compassion that transcended the pain she had caused him. Ethan's public forgiveness of Isabella at the gala was a pivotal moment, a turning point in his journey towards redemption, a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness and the healing power of human connection. It signaled his willingness to let go of the past, to embrace forgiveness, and to move forward with his life, not as a victim of circumstance but as an agent of change, a beacon of compassion and understanding. The community, witnessing Ethan's transformation, his public display of forgiveness and compassion, responded with admiration and respect. His reputation began to heal, the whispers of his past actions fading into the background, replaced by a newfound appreciation for his character and his capacity for growth. His actions at the gala overshadowed his past mistakes, the image of him offering forgiveness to the woman who had humiliated him resonating with a community that valued compassion and second chances. He regained the trust of his peers, his newfound humility and compassion earning him their respect, his willingness to forgive inspiring them to reevaluate their own judgments and prejudices. Ethan, his heart lighter, his spirit renewed, his path illuminated by the light of forgiveness and love, reached out to Isabella, offering her support and friendship. He recognized that she, too, was a victim of her own circumstances, her actions a reflection of her own insecurities and fears, her cruelty a defense mechanism against the vulnerability she had so desperately tried to conceal. He offered her a chance at redemption, a chance to rebuild her life and her reputation, to rediscover the kindness and compassion that had been buried beneath her arrogance and insecurity. He offered her his friendship, his guidance, and his unwavering support, his belief in her potential for change a testament to his own transformation. Isabella, touched by Ethan's kindness and forgiveness, her heart filled with gratitude and a newfound hope for the future, accepted his offer, her tears of remorse a cleansing rain that washed away the remnants of her past bitterness and resentment. She embarked on a journey of self-reflection and growth, seeking to make amends for her past mistakes and to become a better person. She sought therapy, her sessions a safe space to explore her insecurities, her fears, and the patterns of behavior that had led her to hurt others. She confronted her own vulnerability, her need for validation, her fear of rejection, and her deep-seated belief that she was unworthy of love and acceptance. She began to understand the impact of her actions on others, the pain she had caused, the damage she had inflicted on their lives. She reached out to those she had hurt, offering sincere apologies, her words carrying the weight of her remorse and her commitment to change. She also began to volunteer her time at a local community center, working with children from disadvantaged backgrounds, her compassion finding an outlet in her service to others. She shared her story with them, her experiences a cautionary tale about the dangers of arrogance and the importance of kindness and empathy. Ethan and Isabella, their relationship transformed from one of animosity and resentment to one of understanding and forgiveness, began to rebuild their connection. Their interactions now characterized by mutual respect and a shared desire for growth and healing. They met for coffee, their conversations no longer filled with accusations and recriminations, but with shared reflections on their past mistakes and their hopes for the future. They volunteered together at the community center, their shared passion for helping others creating a bond of common purpose and shared values. They supported each other's journeys, their friendship a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness and the healing power of human connection. They had both been wounded by their past experiences, but they had found in each other a source of strength and support, a shared understanding that allowed them to heal and grow. The encounter with Isabella at the gala and the subsequent reconciliation marked a turning point in Ethan's life, a shift in his perspective that redefined his values, his priorities, and his sense of purpose. He had let go of the past, embraced forgiveness, and found love and redemption. His journey a testament to the transformative power of human connection and the resilience of the human spirit. He realized that revenge had been a misguided path, a path that had led him further away from his true self, a path that had blinded him to the beauty and complexity of human experience. He had rediscovered his compassion, his empathy, and his belief in the goodness of humanity, his heart now open to the possibility of love, forgiveness, and connection. He decided to dedicate his life to helping others, to using his experiences to guide and inspire those who had been hurt and betrayed, to offer them a path towards healing and redemption. He had walked through the darkness of revenge and emerged into the light of compassion, his journey a beacon of hope for those who had lost their way. He became a mentor to young people, sharing his story and offering guidance and support to those who were struggling with bullying, rejection, and the temptation of revenge. He spoke at schools and community centers, his words resonating with those who had experienced the pain of social isolation and the desire for retribution. He shared his experiences, his struggles, and his triumphs, his vulnerability creating a connection with his audience, his honesty inspiring them to confront their own demons and seek a path towards healing and forgiveness. He offered them hope, a belief in their capacity for change and growth, a vision of a world where kindness and compassion prevailed. He also became involved in community outreach programs, volunteering his time and resources to support those in need. He worked with homeless shelters, providing food and shelter to those who had lost everything. He mentored at-risk youth, offering them guidance and support as they navigated the challenges of adolescence and the temptations of the streets. He became a voice for the voiceless, an advocate for the marginalized, his passion for social justice fueled by his own experiences of injustice and his newfound understanding of the interconnectedness of human lives. He used his platform to speak out against inequality, to promote education and opportunity for all, and to create a more just and compassionate society. He also continued to nurture his relationship with Sarah, their love a source of strength and inspiration, their shared values and aspirations a foundation for a life filled with purpose and meaning. They worked together on their foundation, their passion for helping others a bond that strengthened their connection and fueled their commitment to making a difference in the world. They organized fundraising events, their efforts bringing together community members, business leaders, and philanthropists, their shared vision creating a ripple effect of generosity and compassion. They developed educational programs, their workshops and seminars promoting kindness, empathy, and conflict resolution skills in schools and communities. They became a beacon of hope, their love a testament to the transformative power of human connection, their actions an inspiration to those who sought to create a better world. Ethan's journey from a victim of humiliation to a man consumed by revenge, and finally to a beacon of forgiveness and compassion, was a testament to his capacity for growth and transformation, a journey that had taken him through the depths of despair and led him to the heights of human potential. He had learned the destructive nature of revenge, its ability to corrupt the soul and perpetuate a cycle of pain and suffering. He had experienced the bitterness, the resentment, the isolation that revenge had brought into his life, the way it had poisoned his heart and blinded him to the beauty and complexity of human experience. He had discovered the healing power of forgiveness, its ability to liberate the heart and restore faith in humanity. He had felt the weight of his own guilt and shame lift from his shoulders as he offered forgiveness to Isabella, the woman who had hurt him so deeply. He had felt the chains of resentment break, freeing him from the past, allowing him to embrace the present with a newfound sense of peace and hope. He had also learned the importance of empathy and compassion, the ability to see beyond the surface and understand the human struggles behind every action. He had come to appreciate the interconnectedness of human lives, the way our actions can ripple through the lives of others, creating either pain or healing. He had learned to see Isabella not as a villain but as a flawed human being, her actions driven by her own insecurities and fears. He had learned to see himself not as a victim but as a survivor, a man capable of overcoming adversity and finding strength in forgiveness and compassion. Reflecting on his journey, Ethan realized that true strength lies not in revenge but in forgiveness, not in power but in compassion. He had discovered that true fulfillment comes not from seeking retribution but from offering kindness and understanding, from using his experiences to help others, to heal the wounds of the past, and to create a better future. He had learned that the pursuit of revenge is a hollow pursuit, a path that leads to isolation and despair. He had discovered that true happiness lies in connection, in empathy, in the shared human experience of love, forgiveness, and redemption. He had come to appreciate the transformative power of love, the way it could heal wounds, mend broken hearts, and inspire growth and change. He had found in Sarah a love that had nurtured his soul, a love that had shown him the beauty and complexity of human connection, a love that had empowered him to become the best version of himself. He had also come to appreciate the importance of self-reflection, of confronting his own flaws and shortcomings, of acknowledging the darkness within himself and choosing to embrace the light. He had learned that true growth comes from facing our demons, from acknowledging our mistakes, and from striving to become better human beings. He had learned that the journey towards redemption is not a linear path, that there will be setbacks and challenges, moments of doubt and despair. But he had also learned that with perseverance, with the support of loved ones, and with an unwavering belief in the possibility of change, we can overcome our past mistakes and create a future filled with hope, healing, and fulfillment. Ethan's story is a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness and the importance of seeking redemption. It highlights the destructive nature of revenge and the healing power of compassion and empathy. It is a story that challenges us to examine our own hearts, to confront our own demons, and to choose the path of forgiveness and love over the path of anger and retribution. His journey reminds us that true strength lies in forgiveness, not in retribution. It encourages us to let go of past hurts, to embrace compassion, and to find fulfillment in human connection and the pursuit of a better self. It reminds us that revenge is a poison that corrodes the soul, that it perpetuates a cycle of pain and suffering, and that it ultimately leaves us feeling empty and alone. Ethan's story is an inspiration to us all, a reminder that even in the face of adversity and betrayal, we can find the strength to forgive, to heal, and to transform our lives. It is a story that celebrates the enduring power of the human spirit and the possibility of redemption for all. It reminds us that we are all capable of change, of growth, of overcoming our past mistakes and creating a future filled with hope, healing, and fulfillment. It is a story that challenges us to look beyond the surface, to see the humanity in others, even those who have hurt us. It encourages us to cultivate empathy and compassion, to understand the struggles and vulnerabilities that drive people to act in ways that cause pain and suffering. It is a story that reminds us that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness but a sign of strength, that it takes courage to let go of anger and resentment, to embrace compassion and understanding. It is a story that reminds us that forgiveness is not just about the person we are forgiving. It is also about ourselves, about freeing ourselves from the shackles of the past and embracing the possibility of a better future. Ethan's story is a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, we can find the light of forgiveness and love. It is a story that inspires us to embrace our shared humanity, to connect with others on a deeper level, and to find fulfillment in the pursuit of a better self and a more compassionate world.